Mothers and Sons. A boy is brought into the world by his mother, and she is the center of his universe in those first tender months and years. She suckles him, nurtures him, protects him, she sings to him, reads to him, watches over him. As the old saying goes, like a mother hen. She often names him as well, tender names like my little lamb, or mama's little sweetheart, or even my little boyfriend. But a boy cannot grow to manhood with a name like that, let alone a name like Son of My Sorrow. And there comes a time for the shift when he begins to seek out his father's affection and attention. He wants to play catch with Dad and wrestle with him, spend time outside together or in his workshop. If Dad works outside the home, as most do, then his return in the evening becomes the biggest event of the boy's day. Stacy can tell you when it happened for each of our boys. This is a very hard time in a mother's life when their father replaces her as the son of the boy's universe. It is part of Eve's sorrow, this letting go, this being replaced. Few mothers do it willingly, very few do it well. Many women ask their sons to fill a void in their soul that their husband has left. But the boy has a question that needs an answer, and he cannot get the answer from his mother. Femininity can never bestow masculinity. My mother would often call me sweetheart, but my father called me tiger. Which direction do you think a boy would want to head? He will still turn to his mother for comfort. What does he run to when he skins his knee? But he turns to Dad for adventure, for the chance to test his strength, and most of all, to get the answer to his question. A classic example of these dueling roles took place the other night. We were driving down the road and the boys were talking about the kind of car they want to get when it comes time for their first set of wheels. I was thinking about a Humvee or a motorcycle, maybe even a tank. What do you think, Dad? I'd go with the Humvee. We could mount a machine gun up on top. What about you, Mom? What kind of car do you want me to have? You know what she said? A safe one. Stacy is a wonderful mother. She has bit her tongue so many times I wonder that she still has one, as she holds her peace while the boys and I rush off to some adventure begging destruction or bloodshed. Her first reaction, a safe one, is so natural, so understandable. After all, she is the incarnation of God's tenderness. But if a mother will not allow her son to become dangerous, if she does not let the father take him away, she will emasculate him. I just read a story of a mother divorced from her husband, who was furious that he wanted to take the boy hunting. She tried to get a restraining order to prevent him from teaching the boy about guns. That is emasculation. My mom wouldn't let me play with G.I. Joe, a young man told me. Another said, we lived back east, near an amusement park. It had a roller coaster, the old wooden kind, but my mom would never let me go. That is emasculation, and the boy needs to be rescued from it by the active intervention of the father or another man. This kind of intervention is powerfully portrayed in the movie A Perfect World. Kevin Costner plays an escaped convict who takes a boy hostage and heads for the state line. But as the story unfolds, we see that what looks like the boy's ruin is actually his redemption. The boy is in his underpants when Costner abducts him. That is where many mothers want to keep their sons, albeit unconsciously. She wants her little lamb close by. Over the days that follow, days together on the road, I might add, Costner and the boy, who has no father, grow close. When he learns that the boy's mother has never allowed him to ride a roller coaster, Costner is outraged. The next scene is the boy, arms high in the air, rolling up and down country roads on the roof of the station wagon. That's the invitation into a man's world, a world involving danger. Implicit in the invitation is the affirmation, you can handle it, you belong here. There comes a moment when Costner buys the boy a pair of pants. The symbolism in the film is amazing. But the boy won't change in front of him. He is a shy, timid boy who has yet to even smile in the story. Costner senses something is up. What's the matter? You don't want me to see your pecker? It's puny. What? It's puny. Who told you that? The boy, Philip, is silent. It is the silence of emasculation and shame. The absence of the father's voice is loud and clear. So Costner intervenes and speaks. Let me see. Go on. I'll shoot you straight. The boy reluctantly bares himself. No, Philip, that's a good size for a boy your age. A smile breaks out on his face like the sun coming up, and you know a major threshold has been crossed for him. From strength to strength. Masculinity is an essence that is hard to articulate, but that a boy naturally craves as he craves food and water. It is something passed between men. The traditional way of raising sons, notes Robert Bly, which lasted for thousands and thousands of years, amounted to fathers and sons living in close, murderously close, proximity, while the father taught the son a trade, perhaps farming or carpentry or blacksmithing or tailoring. My father taught me to fish. We would spend long days together, out in a boat on a lake, trying to catch fish. I will never, ever forget his delight in me when I'd hook one. But the fish were never really the important thing. It was the delight, the contact, the masculine presence gladly bestowing itself on me. "Atta-boy, Tiger! Bring him in! That's it! Well done!" Listen to men when they talk warmly of their fathers, and you'll hear the same. My father taught me to fix tractors, to throw a curveball, to hunt quail. And despite the details, what is mostly passed along is the masculine blessing. Fathers and sons in most tribal cultures live in an amused tolerance of each other, says Bly. The son has a lot to learn, and so the father and son spend hours trying and failing together to make arrowheads or to repair a spear or track a clever animal. When a father and son spend long hours together, which some fathers and sons still do, we could say that a substance almost like food passes from the older body to the younger. That is why my boys love to wrestle with me, why any healthy boy wants the same with his father. They love the physical contact, to brush against my cheek, feel the sandpaper of my whiskers, my strength all around them, and to test theirs on